Welcome to the Roadrunner 89 Investment Network, where we talk about interracial love and marriage. Hope you enjoy Swirl to Investment. All right, how's everybody doing today? Good to see you by the book. Got some people coming in. All right. Hey guys, I just want to talk to you about something today. Okay, this is going to be a short live. It's not going to last too long. Um, well, it pretty much depends on you, but I'm not going to talk about a whole lot. Um, I was going to do my prayer meeting, but I don't have my message ready yet. So it might be later tonight or even tomorrow. I'm supposed to go on with Alexander this evening. And, I'm trying to show my brother some support and uplift him in his channel because he's standing alongside with me fighting that good fight, um, fighting for interracial relationships, fighting the good fight for Black women also. And we need more men doing that, you know. It's not just Black men's responsibility to protect Black women, it's all men's responsibility. Okay, always has been, and always will be. Okay, we've failed in the past collectively as men in our country, um, and today Black women are the most disrespected and most unprotected. Yet they're the most beautiful and most successful. And something needs to give. Something needs to change. Okay, and it starts with us in social media. It really does. Putting out that good image for Black women. And those of us that are married to Black women, we really need to show love. I mean, seriously. Um, you know, some men are doing it, but it needs to be a lot more. And but I want to talk about a message today, and that's fighting the good fight. Okay, and don't let nobody stop you from opening up your options for being with someone that loves you, somebody that's going to uplift you and celebrate you, and be there for you. And if that man can't provide and protect, you don't need to be with that man because then you're going to have to provide and protect for him. And that's that's where we're at in today's world. We got a lot of beta dudes that are looking for women to take care of them. They want to be the princess in today's world. They want a young lady to work hard for them. That's where we're going. We're reversing it in many cases. And sometimes, us as men, we're supposed to be the leaders, but a lot of times we are not because of teen pregnancy. Yeah, that's one. But out of birth pregnancy, and we're people are always going to go in on Black women, white men that open up their options. You're going to fight that good fight your whole life. Now, are they coming and doing physical harm to you? No, not in today's world for the most part. I have read cases where, there have been interracial couples that have been sent to meet their maker because, certain groups of men are jealous or angry or just flat hate it. Okay, but mostly nobody's going to harm you. It's usually harming you with words, maybe at the workplace, um, pointing out your faults more often than others, uh, suppressing the good things that you do and highlighting the bad. Okay, that's been happening for years, and it's happened to me and my wife Sandy along the way. Most people are okay with interracial relationships, or they say, okay, but there are a lot of people that hate it, and they're going to fight against you to stop it, to destroy your relationship. Yeah, there are people out there that would love to destroy what you have. Okay, because there's a lot of people that believe in race loyalty. A lot of people think you're supposed to stay with your own kind, meaning the woman that looks like you in skin tone. Okay, that's not how it goes. We're supposed to be with the one that's going to provide and protect for the ladies and guys. We're supposed to be with the lady that's going to have our back and give us her love and loyalty. We need that in a good relationship. And black women and white men are leading the way. And they are and have been for some years. Okay. And I don't know when it started that black women, white men relationships were the most successful, but I'd have to dig and see when they started doing studies. But I think, it probably started back in 67, or, the Loving Virginia case when the court overturned interracial marriages, making it legal in every state. Okay. And we see the percentages going up every day. People say, well, it's only 4% of black women, white men. We get told this, right? And they try to play it down like, if it's so great, why isn't there more people doing it? Okay. Don't get caught up in that. Most people do not go out of their comfort zone. Most people don't have the courage to do so. Okay. It's not that white men don't want to date black women or vice versa. It's that most people will stay in their comfort zone because it's easy. It's comfortable. When you date and have a relationship with somebody, out of your ethnicity or race, you're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. It's going to be different. You don't know how people are going to react, and you got to stand up not only for yourself but the young lady you're with. And it really takes an alpha to do that, both men and women. And black women, white men, we are the alphas. We are. And don't let nobody tell you different. They'll fight you tooth and nail and say, no, you're not. Yes, we are. We're the most attacked. We get out of our comfort zone and we make it happen. We make our marriages last. Okay. And I'm not going in on nobody that has had a divorce, because things happen. Okay. That don't mean you have a weakness or something's wrong. Okay. Things happen. But what I'm saying is we put more effort. Black women, white men put more effort in their relationships, their marriages. And even the failed ones are stronger than most other marriages. It is what it is. And we're seeing that. And we need to uplift that. We need to fight for that. And what I mean is anybody can do it, right? But we got to put out the positive message. That's what I do on my channel. And that's what this channel is really about. Yeah, it's about interracial relationships with black women, white men. But it's also uplifting black women. And honestly, this channel revolves around black women. It does. Okay. And the reason is because black women are the best option. Black women, are the most beautiful, have the most character. And, us as men, if we want to date and marry black women, we have to be at our best. We have to, because if you're not going to give everything to a black woman, don't even mess with her. Okay. She's the best of the best, and you have to be the best of the best. And most people won't jump out of that comfort zone. Most people will stay with somebody that looks like them because nobody's going to say nothing to them, because they're not going to have to bring someone home that looks different. So that's why the majority ain't doing it. Plus, we've been separated for a long time. And think about it. Marriage didn't become legal in all 50 states till 67, right? That wasn't that long ago. It was 2 years before me and my wife, Sandy, were born. So, we're coming in, we come from two different cultures, and it's happening more, but it's like something new. And we're finding out, getting it out of that comfort zone into that relationship, we're finding that there's so much success in that. And I think it's because we have to fight to be in that relationship. And we know that we're going hit times when people are going to be against us, when people are going to attack us. We know it. Okay. And I believe black men and white women have an easier time. I don't think they get harassed half as much. Okay. Not to say they don't. Okay. But in today's time in 2022, that's what appears to be happening. And I see it in the real world. I see it on social media. Okay. And social media ain't totally real life. Okay. There's a lot of stuff that some content creators aren't who they say they are. They might live a different life than what they portray. They found out people were doing that. It does happen. Sometimes they do it because it's a hot topic and it gets views. When I started, people thought I was lying about having a black wife. Some people still believe that, well, it's the ones that don't watch my videos. But I've had people research me and see if I'm married to a black woman, and if I've been married as many years as I say I have. People have researched that. Why they would want to, I guess, to see if what I'm saying is true, But we have to fight to be together. We have to fight to keep our relationships going. We have to fight to uplift one another. We have to fight to keep our heads straight and move forward together. But I tell you, it's worth the fight. At the end of the day, when you have the ability to stand up and fight for each other, that is the most beautiful thing. And that is something that nobody can break you when you get to that point. Nobody can take away what you have. But you got to get to that point. And if you want to date out, you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. And I would say to the man, if you're not willing to go all the way, don't mess with black women. Don't do it. And I say black women too. If you're not sure about the white guy, don't mess with him either. You don't want to waste nobody's time. You don't want to, go hurting feelings and stuff like that. That's not good, because, time is precious. We don't know how much time we have. And we got to embrace that. And we don't need to waste time. And especially when we're looking for a wife, or ladies, you're looking for a husband, you don't want to wait all day. You don't want to, wait for years. And, it's not like you want to just jump in right away. No, you got to vet and get to know that person. And you got to have standards and find the right one. That takes some time, yes. But, if you're a fiance, you shouldn't be a fiance for years. That is the silliest, craziest thing I see in today's world. I see people, living together, having children together for years and years and years, and don't get married. Why? You're actually living, the common law marriage. Why not just do it official? You know, I think it's an insult to a woman to live with her and not marry her, especially having kids. But I see it. That's in the norm today. People do it all the time. Back in the day, you were shamed for doing it. You know, men were held accountable. If you had children, you weren't married to women. Back in the day, you were held accountable. You were considered scum of the earth. But in today's world, most men are doing it. And that's the problem we have. And I think a part of the solution is, well, people changing their ways and their morals, trusting more in God. Um, you know, and the ones that want to get married, searching for the perfect one for you. Okay. Nobody's perfect, but one that's going to love you and be with you, that wants that marriage to work. Because it takes two for a marriage to work. It only takes one to destroy it. You know, think about that. You got to be together as one. You can't, and you know, and interracial relationships, there's more you're going to have to deal with. There's more things you're going to have to fight. But you know what? In my life, it paid off. Paid off big. I am very blessed, and I'm grateful. You know, that day I approached my wife, thank God I had the courage to do that. Was I nervous? Oh, yeah. Did I stutter? Yes. Did I feel like an idiot? Yes. But thank God I did it, you know? Sometimes in life, all it takes is you to just make that move and stand up and move forward. You know, it might be a hard, long, hard fight. Then again, God just might make it happen for you just because you stepped up. You know, you hear in the Bible about the story about the walls of Jericho, the soldiers marching around and blowing the trumpets and marching around, and then the walls just crumble down. And there's other cases where they got to fight tooth and nail. Some cases it just, you're successful, but you still have to make that step. Sometimes God makes things easy for you. Sometimes he makes them very difficult too. Keep that in mind. But stepping out of your comfort zone, if you're really in love, it's not that hard. You just got to have the courage to do it. And if she's on board with you, you got it made. You know, but that's the trick there. That's the thing you got to do, is find the right person. You know, but you know, that's what I want to talk about. We got to fight the good fight, because if we don't, we're going to miss out on that blessing. Okay, and even if you don't open up your options, if you're in a marriage, you got to fight for it. Okay, and I think society would be better off if we went back to those, you know, those values, the marriage, the children. Okay, not all of us can have that because of situations, but we should strive to get there. You know, and I would say to men, there's so many black women out there that will open up their options to you. A lot of them are afraid to. They don't know what to expect from you. They don't know whether you're a racist or a fetishizer. I get asked this question all the time. How do I know if he's racist or a fetishizer? Okay, well, you gotta you gotta get to know him. If he's racist, he's probably not going to talk to you, and unless it's a lustful, weird thing he's got going on. But usually, the true white supremacist racist wants to be with white people because they believe if you procreate with someone of another race, you're committing genocide. They believe that. So, you know, usually they're not going to want to date and marry black women. That just, it is what it is. Now, can you find a white guy that's a jerk that don't treat you well? Yes. You got to vet. And ladies, you should vet every man the same way, whether he's black or white. Because The white guy might fetishize you, but the black man might too. White guy might be racist, but could the black guy be racist? Can he hate black women or abuse black women? I'm just saying. I mean, there's evil out there. Okay. Sin's running rampant in today's world. Okay. And this ain't the prayer meeting right here. I'm just talking to you guys. I'm making this video. But you got to fight the good fight. And sometimes, you know what? It's going to beat you down. Sometimes when you're fighting the good fight, you'll go in and get passionate and yell and get crazy. And it happens. But you got to stand up. You got to put your foot forward. You got to, engage in the fight. We have a blessing here. And if we want it, we got to fight for it. And ladies, you don't want a man that's not going to fight for it. Okay. So keep that in mind. And how do you know if he's really true? A good thing is take them to meet your family. Okay. Meeting the family is a beautiful thing. You know why? Because you can find out a lot of men's intentions. Are they excited about meeting your family? And if he's a white guy, he might be a little afraid there because he don't know what to expect. But as long as he wants to, that's a sign that he's really into you. And he wants acceptance from your family. Okay? A guy that just has a fetish with you or a sexual desire don't care about meeting your parents. He don't care about meeting your brothers or sisters or your family. He just wants to have a good time with you. That's a good way to kind of vet men. If they won't go meet your family and he won't take you to meet his, cut him off. And I would say, men, do the same thing. If she will not take you to meet her family, cut it off. And I tell you why. Because if the relationship's going to be a strong one where it leads to marriage, you don't want either person to be ashamed of each other and afraid to stand up for each other. And I've seen that in a lot of interracial relationships where they like dating each other, but they kind of hide it. They do it in secret. I see it all the time. I've seen it for years. And they're still worried about what people will think. That relationship is not going to last unless they change. If he ain't proud to have you on his arm, if he's afraid to hold your hand in public or have his arm around you, something's wrong. And I'm not saying making out in public. No, I'm just saying showing a little affection. Okay. Like holding a hand, having his arm around you, that nothing wrong with that. That don't mean his hands are all over, okay. I'm just saying if you're in a real relationship where you love each other, you should be able to do that without worrying about what people think or none of that stuff. We have, the right to date and marry who we want. It's legal now, so you can do what you want. And if you're going to date that young lady and marry her, you have to put her first. And if she ain't the most beautiful woman on earth to you, you probably you shouldn't be with her. I'm just going to say that. And ladies, if he ain't the ultimate man to you, something's not right here. Okay? We don't need to go in a secret swirl society in today's world. That's back in the day when it was illegal and, people would get hurt for opening up their options. They had to do it in secret a lot of times. They had to live that secret swirl society. Our history had a lot of secret swirling going on. Okay? You don't have to hide no more. You can do it legally, but do it the right way. And I'm all for swirling, okay? That's interracial dating. But I say swirl to investment. that means do it to find a wife. If you're doing it for that reason, by all means. But if you're doing it to see what it's like for a good time or some desire you have, don't do it. Stay away. Okay? Got enough problems in this world. And black women put up with enough crap. Okay? And in society, we need to change that. Okay? You know what? You don't have to secretly swirl. You don't. People do it, though. People have affairs today and don't tell people because they're afraid what their family will think. Gosh, thank God I'm not in that type of family. I mean, wow. But yeah, give a thumbs up. And guys, look, let me explain something, okay? When it comes to this channel, okay, this is not a channel just for black women and white men. That's also Asian, Hispanic. We uplift that too. Okay. So it's also about that. And, and also I am not here to uplift any man. Okay. I'm not here to, cater to a black man or a white man. Okay. I don't care about these men. And what I mean by that, it's not I don't care. I'm not going to spend my time catering to them. Okay. Men are tough. They can take it. They can. Okay. And, all men are welcome on this channel as long as they're respectful, but I'm not here to, police what black women say. If they want to vent and say how they feel, we need to respect that. Okay. And, and even if they come in and complain about a white guy in an interracial relation, we got to respect that too, guys. Men don't need to be coddled. Okay. I know this becomes an issue at times and people look at it as bashing. Okay. I feel when a woman tells her experience, that's her experience. And if she feels that way about a man, so be it. There's a lot of black women that think white men are garbage. That's their right to think that. Okay. I've dealt with them in my life. And maybe she was around a couple racist white guys that did her wrong. I don't know. So we got to kind of think why, instead of what they're saying, why? Why are they? And I would say to white men in here, and I get some white men say, well, I got this this email I want to share with you guys. Okay. And I wasn't able to put it on the StreamYards, but I'm going to show you through my phone and I'm going to read it to you. Okay. And this is from a white man, apparently a white man. He could be a black guy posing as a white man. I get that. But this is his opinion on the channel. Okay. And he has his right to his opinion. He didn't cuss me out. He didn't call names or anything. This is just his opinion, and that's fine. But I'm going to address this opinion. Okay. I'm going to put this here. Okay. Can you guys see it? Okay. The man's name, Robert Smith. Okay. He commented on my video here. And he says, I am a white man that is interested in dating and marrying a black woman. And I thought I would give this show a listen. Okay. My only criticism was that I got bored when the guests started ranting about black men. I thought the show was about interracial dating, and I wanted to hear about the successful marriages and relationships. God bless. All right. Well, God bless you too. All right. I have a problem with this, and I want to tell you why. Okay. Everybody see that? I have a problem with that, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay. First of all, when it comes to black women. Okay. And I'm all for positive interracial relationships, and they look cute together, and they got their kids, and you see them going shopping, and they just look so good. It looks like they're just so blessed. And I like that. I love it, you know, and we want to see that. We want to see the positive, the love, everything, right? We want to see it be so successful, and meet a black woman that just falls in love with you, and she's beautiful, and you're successful, and oh, things are wonderful. It's great. You're top of the top, right? Okay, there's a lot of positive there. There's a lot. There's blessings. But in the real world, not every day is a beautiful day. Not every day you're beautiful to each other. Not every day do you just hug and just fall in love all over again every day, okay? This is the real world. And when black women have a complaint and you want to date them and marry them, you better listen to them. Because there's a lot you can learn. And I know it might be uncomfortable, but we need to go to that uncomfortable situation, because real life is not unicorns and rainbows. Life is tough. And we're flawed as people. We have our issues. We have our problems. We irritate the crap out of each other. Even the ones we love more than anything in the world. And to understand a black woman, you better listen to her. And if she's complaining about what a black man did to her, wouldn't it be something good to listen so you don't make that same mistake? Just saying. And the thing of it is the marriage rates are low, right? Interracial relationship, black women, white men. And you know what? I don't care. And the thing of it is it is about black women at this point. And if black men had the most successful marriages with black women, I'd be praising black men right now. Because I don't identify with any man except myself. I'm a free-thinking individual. I don't think I'm better than anybody else. I don't think anybody's better than me either. I identify with men that have character, men that love their families, men that love their children. And some look like me and some do not. But I'm not going to go in here and police what women say, especially for men. I'm not going to do it. And I couldn't do it anyway. This would cease to exist. And I know it's uncomfortable. And sometimes the mud gets slinging, and I don't like hearing negativity either. But this is real life. And in your interracial life, there's going to be mud thrown at you. There are going to be people that hate you. There are going to be people on the job that are going to try to make you look bad because of who your wife is, who your husband is. I've been married over 28 years, and it's happened to me and my wife more than once. So if you're going to be that alpha man or woman and you want to open up your options, you better learn something. You better listen. And guys, you better listen to black women. And maybe that's the problem they're having. If you could be a good listener and lift her up and let her know she's beautiful and let her know how valuable she is, you just might have a good marriage. You just might be successful. But sometimes we got to go in the mud to get the reward. Sometimes we got to face that reality. Alpha women, you never heard that? What I mean by that is a woman that knows what she wants and goes for the best option. Okay? The woman that makes the right decision. Okay? The man's the leader in the relationship? Yes. The man is. But the man's got to do what the man's supposed to do. He's not here to be taken care of. Men have a stronger upper body. Men can lift more. And you know why that is? Men can do more work because we're designed to work. We're designed to do physical labor. And we're designed to protect our wives. And if you want your wife to submit to you, you need to do what you're supposed to as a man. Provide and protect. You're supposed to love your wife like Jesus loved the church, which he laid down his life for it. And if you're not willing to go there, you don't deserve to have her for a wife. Okay? And that's any woman. That's what we're supposed to do as men. Okay? But what I would say to him, okay, that's his opinion. I'm not hating, but you want to hear the success, but you got to hear the struggles too. How did they get to that success? How did that marriage work? How did they make it successful? They didn't just say, hey, let's get married, and boom, boom, it was beautiful and everything was perfect. No. We're people, we're flawed. We do dumb things. All of us do. And if you don't have strong love for each other, your relationship ain't going to last. Serious. I'm a goat, thanks. But seriously, guys, we need to, fight that good fight. And I tell you, and I want to apologize to you guys last night for ranting and going on and on. I went onto a panel and I got passionate and I spoke out and I was yelling and I wanted to be heard and I wanted to say what I want to say. And, I was kind of a mess, but that's where my passion is. I'm ready for that fight. I'm ready. I want, when I talk, I want people to freaking sit down and listen to me. And sometimes I get that way. And you guys know I ramble. I like to talk. I'll circle talk a lot too. When something's in my head, in my heart, I'll say it over and over. And a lot of times I just want to hit it home. I want people to listen. Because what's really going on here? In our country, we're not coming together like we should. Yes, it's getting better, but it needs to get a whole heck of a lot better. And we need to start looking at each other as people. And we need to uplift people that find a person they love. Whether the woman has a man that looks like us or like somebody else, it don't matter. What are we doing as a people? The world's messed up right now. Okay? There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of evil going on. Okay? Now, thanks, J10. Yeah, I get passionate and I get into it. And sometimes I get so into it, some people don't understand what I'm saying. And but that's me. Okay? And I've had the good fight for over 28 years. Okay? So sometimes I get I get passionate. I'll just put it there. Richard says, have I seen any NFL games today? No, sir, I haven't. And I haven't had time. Gosh, today's been busy. And I just got my jacket on here. I went on a little run. I'm trying to lose some weight here. Since the wedding, I've lost 8 pounds. So I'm on track. A little at a time. I've taken red meat out of my diet. And if I do eat it, it's like no more than once a week. And I try to even avoid that. I'm eating more leaner meats. Um, and I'm trying to get it down, and I feel better. You know what? I have more energy. Um, I just feel better altogether. And in fact, I went with my wife and wanted to go get pizza. I couldn't eat it. I just felt it just didn't feel right. I wanted to eat a salad with fruit and stuff. I don't know what it is. I've been craving fruit and salads too for some reason. Maybe that's my body telling me what it needs. I think that's what's going on. But actually, I'm craving that stuff. I've been eating a lot of tuna. I just, you know, yeah, I love pizza too. But I don't know. Since I've changed my diet, I'm not craving a lot of junk food no more. And that's a good thing. In my age, I got to get away from that. You know, um, we do because when we get older, our metabolism slows down. Um, in my life, I've been spoiled because I haven't had to worry about weight. My time in the army, I ate what I wanted to. I had a horrible diet, but I was never overweight. I was in shape because the army beat it out of me. But when I retired, that changed. Weight just threw itself on me, and your taste buds are changing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm craving it. I think my body needs it, and it's finally getting good food. Um, uh, and I think that's what's happening. So the body's saying, "Yeah, this is good. I need more of this," you know, um, because the nutritional value of fast food, really, what is there? I mean, a hamburger you take, it's red meat. It's harder to digest, but it does have some protein and iron. It does have some good things. Maybe the lettuce on the hamburger or whatever, but you're not really eating good. And French fries is absolutely horrible for you. That just, fried in grease, and you're just putting that grease in your body. You're making your body into a dumpster, basically. And just, you know, but I've changed that. And, me and Sandy have been, working on our diet because we want to be fit. We want to lose some weight. And you know what? We want to be healthy for our grandkids and great grandkids. So, just food for thought. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I did 20 years in the Army. I retired back in 2012. So I've been retired 10 years. Wow. That's crazy. Time flies. But, all my kids are in their 20s and, we have grandkids now. But we got there by, starting out, getting out of that comfort zone, you know, um, having the courage. Thank God I had the courage to approach my wife. Because I think about it, if I would have been too afraid and not done it, how would my life turn out? I wouldn't have my children, my 3 kids. I wouldn't have my 2 grandkids. I wouldn't have my awesome wife. yeah, yeah. I had too much food at your wedding. No, I just, hey, the time of the wedding, I remember at the hotel, I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, I'm fat. And I know I was on the heavy side, but dang, when you start really noticing it, because people don't really notice when they're chunky, right? But when you start noticing you got a problem, that's when you got to say, you know what? And I'm not one that has a vanity issue, I don't have that, but it's like I'm looking at myself and say, wow, this is unhealthy. And somewhere down the road, it's going to hurt me if I don't correct it. So that's where I'm at with that. I'm not trying to impress anybody by, becoming muscular or nothing like that. No, I just want to be healthy. I want to feel good too. And I have been. That's the whole thing. But yeah, I ate too much at the wedding. Yeah, that was a nice wedding. Very nice. And I saw your video. Nice video. That was it was a beautiful wedding, guys. And Mr. and Mrs. PPP, congratulate them. They just recently got married and over in the UK now, huh? And me and my wife Sandy had the blessing and privilege to attend the wedding, and that was that was awesome. It really was. But guys, really, we got to fight that good fight. Okay, and it's good to be home. And what I mean is with you guys, on our platform, you say you want a safe space. This is a safe space for me too. When I go out and talk to other people on other panels, it can be nerve wracking and a headache, and it is what it is. But back here, this is home, and this is when you're around people that love you, that are there for you, and you're there for them. That's what it's about, and I see people with their channels, and everybody has a reason why they do a YouTube channel. Okay. Some people want to be successful and popular and make money, and and there's just some that just want to have a platform to talk to people and uplift each other. And that's where I'm at. I just love talking. Sorry. I just love talking to you guys. I love sharing my stories. I love talking about interracial relationships, and I love giving advice. And my advice ain't perfect. And, but I could tell you what worked for me and Sandy. I could tell you how we were successful. I can't tell you how you can be successful, but I can tell you what worked for us. And it might work for you. It will work for some it won't. And I would feel guilty making money doing that. I mean, telling you my advice. I mean, unless it's guaranteed, and nothing's guaranteed, but I just love having this channel, and this has been so awesome. It's bigger than I ever thought it would be, and I'm content with that. I really am. And if it gets bigger along the way, so be it. That's even better. But I was happy when we hit when I hit 40 subscribers. I remember I hit 40. I think that was like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years. I don't know. I remember I hit 40 subscribers, and I was so happy. Me and my wife Sandy, we went out and had dinner and celebrated, went and seen a movie. I felt like I was on cloud nine. Felt like I was on top of the world. I have 40 people that subscribe to my channel. I thought that was the greatest thing ever. And and when I started getting feedback from my little videos and people showing me some love and stuff, oh man, I tell you that just made me so motivated to make more videos, and it motivates me to do more videos, more lives. It just, it's such a great feeling, and I appreciate you guys. I do. You don't even know. And when me and Sandy go on trips, we've met people from the channel in different places, and that's neat. I love that. And and I'm thinking about going to the East Coast maybe next summer or something. Maybe go to New York or Pennsylvania and try to link up with some people from the channel there. And but when I do that, I'd never advertise it online. It's through email, because I don't want no weirdos coming and punching me in the back of the head while I'm not looking, or some crazy stuff. Because there's weirdos out there that will do stuff like that. But this is a blessing. Interracial marriage between Black women and white men is a blessing. Okay. And it's working. Okay. Not all the time, but the majority of the time, when you compare it to other groups, Black women, white men are leading the way. And you know what I've noticed about white men that love black women? Even when their relationships don't work out, 9 times out of 10, Brad will find another black woman. He don't come back to a white woman and say, "Well, it didn't work over here. Let me go back home." No. 9 times out of 10, he's looking for another black woman. That's how powerful you are, ladies. That's how beautiful you are. That's how strong your love is. Even when relationships between black women and white men do not work, the white man most of the time looks for another black woman. Think about it. It's true. I see it all the time. Okay. But that's how beautiful you are. There's no love like love from a black woman. There's not. Anyway, I'm going to drop the link if you want to come up before I close out. I didn't want to go too long. I got to be on Alexander's show tonight. So come join us over at his channel. And if he's there, hey, Alexander, are you there, brother? If you are, you want to put the time on your show? Because I think it's showing 6 o'clock my time, but you're East Coast. So would it be 8 o'clock your time? Because when you post it, YouTube adjusts it to your time zone. So, but look for Alexander tonight. I'm going to be on there with them. Hopefully you get some other people to come on and support Alexander Brandon, and be on his show, like, share, and subscribe. He's a good guy. He's fighting the good fight for black women. He really is. And I haven't seen many people go in hard for black women like Alexander does. And I listened to him and I'm like, wow, I need to be like Alexander and, not hold back, and tell the truth. 8 p.m. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to come over, that's 8 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. So if you're in California, you go on, you check at 8 p.m. His show will already be over. So that's Eastern time. Okay. 8 p.m. Eastern time, guys. I know we all live in different time zones. So, I'm 2 hours behind them. So my time would be 6 p.m. That's Mountain time. Pacific would be 5 p.m. Yes. So, check that out. But that's Eastern time. Okay. So, know where you're at. Hey, what's on your mind?
Hey, I wanted to say like that like the letter you were reading. I guess it was a comment or a letter. Hey, Kay. Um,
Uh,
a comment or a letter you was reading about
yeah, it
a
it
person.
was a comment.
Okay. I just want to say that a, you know interracial relationships to that person. Interracial relationships aren't perfect. Just like
Yes.
same race relationships, we're not perfect. So
Yes.
we have when we go and look for relationships with white men, there's going to be some bumps in the road, and we have to vent that out because we don't
Yes.
want other girls younger than us going into these relationships blindly and end up messing with the wrong kind of guy over there you know
Yes.
so it's better to rent it out so other young people can hear that it's not all, because a lot of these young girls are blindly going into these relationships like
Mhm.
it's like going over there to dating out like it's a rainbow and thinking it's better on the other side when they still have to vet.
Yes.
They still have to go through those situations and stuff to find the right guy. It's not it ain't perfect. Nothing's perfect though.
Yeah.
No relationship is perfect because you have to vet these men. You can't, because I saw a video of a young lady on TikTok who actually got into who dated out. She ended up going being with the guy, had a kid with him. They want to go meet the parents, and I'm like, you had a kid, but you went to go meet the parents first. You should have met the parents before you had the kid. But when she met the parents, the father is an ex-cop, and
Mhm.
he started he said some inappropriate things to her, and you know tried to hit on her,
Mm.
and she went and told her kid's father, I guess her fiance, about it. He didn't listen to her. He took the father's side, and then he broke up with her, kicked her out the street, and took custody of their kid. Meanwhile, this young lady was trying to tell him that you need to get your father, he's being inappropriate, and the son took the father's side.
Yeah. Hey,
So when
let
you
me
get
say.
oh go ahead.
No, no, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. I mean, you're totally right. I just want to answer J10. This is just a standard live. This is not the prayer meeting.
No, this is
Um, yeah,
yeah.
this is just a regular live stream. Yeah.
uh,
Sorry. Go ahead.
yeah.
What's on your
So
mind?
she ended up having, now she has to fight to get custody of her own, to even get visitations or custody of her own kid. And this is
Hmm.
the thing. This is why we tell the stories that we tell, and this is why we tell young people to be very careful dating out. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. Don't listen to anybody who tells you you shouldn't. We're saying and be
Yeah.
careful. Vet and be careful, because not all these guys over there are of any outside the race or any are genuine. And you're going to deal with racist family members. And
Yeah.
there's, in some cases, now with you, Brett, you were fortunate that your family wasn't that way towards her, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not every family's like that. You're going to
Yeah.
deal
That's.
with racist family members, and you
Mhm.
got to have a strong partner who's able to stand up against their own flesh and blood and tell them, hey, you don't tell me what to do with my life, you don't talk to my partner like that, you don't disrespect my partner like that. Or there's going to be incidents where it's like that young lady right there, you know it's going to end up like that young lady. And that's the scary part. That's the one thing I'm worried about, because I don't want that to happen to any young lady, especially black women. As a black woman myself, I don't want that to happen to black women and girls when they're dating out. I want them to vet these men, vet all men. It don't matter
Yeah.
if you're same race dating or dating out, vet these men, because they know. It's sad, but the sad truth is they know that black men aren't protecting us, and there's going to be a lot of predators in every race that's going to take
Yes.
advantage of that situation and take
Yeah.
advantage of you.
Yes.
You
And
know,
that's a good point, because there are some white guys that look at this, say, "Oh, wait, there's black women opening up their options, and they're seeing success. Well, I could use this and get with her,
right?
because just to fulfill a fantasy."
Yeah, because like
And
you said,
so, yeah.
there are racist guys who do interracially date, but they date for fetish reasons, and you got to be
Yes.
careful with guys like that.
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
And
uh,
that.
yeah, but the same thing goes for black guys too. Black guys fetishize black women too. So I'm saying all men, they do this. They will take advantage of vulnerable women.
Mhm.
Period. There's men out there who will take advantage of vulnerable women. Yes, character over color any day, Afro Angelique. That is
Yes.
so true. Please, character over color. Yes, I understand that black men ain't ish and they don't protect us and all this other stuff, but we also got to realize when we go to the other side, it ain't no different. We got to vet these men, vet
Yes.
them, period.
Yes.
There's no say, there's no if, ands, or buts about it, you know? I just, and I don't know if you also saw something on the news about a white supremacist who was kidnapping young black girls and holding them hostage in his basement. They just found that out in Kansas
Oh
City.
my goodness.
And he was
Wow.
torturing them. He was R-ing them and torturing them. And he had them
Oh
in his
wow.
basement. They and the cops, the thing with Kansas City police, they
What
didn't
the
do, they
fuck?
refused.
Why is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
They
oh,
refused. Oh,
please
they
don't
were
cuss. I'm sorry. I know
I'm
what
sorry.
the
that's okay.
WTF moment, but yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, StreamYard is crappy. But yeah, he held them in the basement and the cops didn't really do anything about it. They refused to report it. And it was one of the girls who escaped the basement and actually reported him, and he got arrested. He finally got arrested for what he was
Oh
doing.
wow.
But he unalived the rest of the girls that he held hostage in them except one. That one girl that escaped, she was the only
Oh man.
survivor. And this is what I'm talking about. Vet every man and be very careful. Don't think that these white supremacists ain't out here doing, shady stuff either, because they will do
Mhm.
shady stuff to black women because they know we don't have protection. You know, they know that black men aren't protecting us. They know this. But that should not stop you from dating out. Let me just say that real quick. That should not stop you from dating out. Character over color, basically. Don't assume that just because all white guys are like that. No, there's a one side where there's white guys like that, and another side where there's white guys who actually genuinely care about black
Mhm.
women. You know,
Okay,
but that
can
I
I
just figured I'd just say that.
can
Okay,
I
Nah.
jump
go ahead.
in?
Uh huh.
Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
So I think that these are such interesting discussions because I must have been living under a rock for a long time, because there are like a lot of aspects of all this, interracial dating and stuff that I don't understand. Firstly, all men are violent. So
Mhm.
black women, I want to say to you, naturally, men are more aggressive across the board. And
Yeah.
so you have to be careful of men because I don't know if it's biology or whatever, but they're naturally more aggressive than we are. So you can't really go by color or age or anything like that. Like, you really just naturally have to use your intuition and be careful, and kind of go into it with I'm gonna have to see what this guy like, but always be prepared to protect yourself, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the world I grew up in. So maybe it's my generation, maybe it's just me, I don't know. But the thing is that I know when I'm out in the world, I don't have protection. I am my only source of protection because no one who loves me is around me, and the world at large is not out there fighting for me, right? Especially as a black woman, but even as a woman in general, right? But especially as a black woman, I'm just learning. I don't even have a community of men to back me up, right? And
Mm.
so that is new to me, but but I've always had the idea that whoever if it's a man, you have to be careful.
Mm.
You have to get to know him. You have to use your intuition and get a sense of, does this man feel okay? Should I, should I get away from him? Even if it's just something in you that says, you know what, this I don't feel quite right with this guy, so I'm gonna walk away. Always listen to that intuition that says something is wrong here. Never doubt it, never question, never feel bad about it. Say, look, I gotta go. I just I'm going. I don't feel. I mean, you don't have to tell me you don't feel safe, but if you don't feel safe, protect yourself in all circumstances.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah. No. That's a good point. Yes. And I'm gonna let Ariana, the beauty Aries Empress. Did I say that all right?
Yes, you said it fine. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Go ahead, young lady. Yeah, I can hear you.
Um, so yeah, hi. I tried to ask you something in the comments, but I don't think you saw it. So my question is, um, if a girl went and approached you and talked to you for a little bit, and then she asked you for your number on social media, what would you do? Because I know how some men feel about like women approaching them. Like some men don't like to be approached.
Um.
And I kind of don't.
Yeah. No. No. What I would do, if I'm attracted to her, I'd take the number. And yeah, I would. Um, but it does knock you off balance because it's not the norm. Usually, and maybe it's just my generation, we approached women and we didn't have dating sites. Well, we did, but nobody really did it. We actually had to approach the woman and actually talk to her and actually have a conversation. Actually try to be in a relationship that way. And we had to do it face to face. And, and usually men approach. So we're used to doing that. But when a woman does it, it kind of knocks us off guard a little bit. But a lot of men will take that number. If he's attracted, it'd be like, oh, all right, okay, yeah. Usually that's what you get. I would say it's better that
Honestly, I don't like it.
you don't
Sorry.
like it, yeah, because it's not the way it should be. It's kind
No, I
of
said I don't like it when I don't like it when like I don't like men that say women should not be approaching men. Like those men are likely to be sexist and well, I'm not saying all of those men that say they don't like to like women to approach them are sexist, but yeah, I just find it to be sexist how some men would not like women to approach them for like example like they don't like they lose interest if a woman approaches them and all that other stuff. I don't like that. I find it to be a bit sexist of them and controlling.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
that can be misogynistic if they are that way and you approach them and ask them for the number or ask them out on a date and they're being misogynistic, saying no, we don't, I don't like women who approach me and ask me out on a date and stuff.
yeah,
I guess, but a lot of them, yeah, some can be misogynist, but some of them are pretty traditional. That's just something they grew up
yeah,
doing, asking the woman first. So I don't think,
yeah,
I mean, it can and cannot. It can be both.
yeah. I would say I'd rather it go that way, but if I'm attracted to her and I'm interested, I would take that number and talk to her. And and sometimes look, I sometimes black women will approach you if they're interested because some of them are tired of waiting for you to make the move. So that sometimes happens. Should it? I don't think it should, but I think white men need to open up. They need to have the courage to approach, get out of that comfort
Yeah,
zone.
they make it
Uh,
hard for POC women to approach them. They white guys do. They make
they
it
do.
hard for women of color to approach them. I'm not talking about all women. Not just talking about black women. I'm talking about Asian women, South Asian women, East Asian women, in general, women of color. They make it hard for us to approach them because they just come off as offstandish, and it's kind of like, well, then there's no point in me asking you, or there's no
Yeah,
point in you, because you're not going to ask me. And it's like you got to get out of that shyness and approach a lady. It
yeah,
doesn't matter if you get rejected, just move on to the next.
yeah. And it's a cultural thing too. That's just how we do it. Even when we approach Becky, we kind of work our way in. We kind of it just it just the way it is. But I tell men all the time, if you like a black woman, approach her and let her know your intentions. She don't like to sit around wondering what are you going to do. A smile to her, is nice, but what's that mean? Is it just you're a nice guy and you smile at her like, hey, how are you doing? Or are you smiling because you think she's beautiful? Or what is your intentions? That's the biggest complaint I've heard black women say. Well, I don't know if he's interested. I don't know what he's doing. He looks at me, he smiles, but is he just a nice guy? And that kind of hurts us as white men because a lot of times we're just nice people. I'm nice to people I'm not attracted to. Also, I mean, we should treat everybody, good. I think. And there's women that have been nice to me that's not attracted to me. They're just nice. But black women, a lot of times, when the man is staring or he's smiling at you, most of the time he's interested in you. It's just he hasn't gotten it into the approach mode. And usually
Someone
they
in
do. Go ahead.
someone in the comments just said that if a guy approaches you, they will likely say yes, even if they're not interested. I don't think that's true because I've asked some guys out or did some stuff like that and they would say no. So I don't think that's always true because I've I've come across some guys that will directly say no or say they're not interested. So yeah, I haven't come across a guy that would say yes to me if they weren't interested.
Hmm.
And also I was gonna say there's this guy at my job that I think likes me. He smiles at me and stuff. I don't think like someone who is just being nice will just smile at you constantly and look at you constantly. that's definitely someone being interested in someone.
No, they wouldn't do that. If they just smile at you once and then we'll just try to spark
Yeah,
up a conversation with them. That's the best start. Break that's how you break like the barrier is spark up a conversation. Say how hi, how are you doing today? He says I'm doing fine, and just say, yeah, the weather's nice, and just spark up a conversation. If he's like really seems like he's interested, start a conversation with them and see where that goes.
yeah. And subscribe to
Yeah,
the other
also I don't
gentleman's
like
channel. I'm sorry. I was just reading that. What's that mean? Who's the other gentleman's channel?
About Alexander. I
Oh,
think I
yeah.
think I think
Yeah.
J9 is talking about Alexander Brandon.
Yeah. Subscribe to Alexander Brandon's channel. Yes. I was just trying to figure out who's the other guy. But yeah, that makes sense. He's the other gentleman. Yes. Okay. Um,
but yeah,
um,
yeah, I like what were you gonna say?
no, I was just going to agree with what's on your mind. Yeah, you gotta kind of read it, because if he just smiles one time, walks away, but if he goes out of his way to take a look at you or talk to you and say things that small talk, but he's always got to do it, that's a key. That's a sign he's probably interested. And if he
Yeah,
talks, yeah,
yeah, I
and,
see him like he'd be in the middle of like working and I would catch him looking at me and smiling whenever he gets a chance to. So yeah, and I plan on asking for his number or social media, but I'm kind of scared because I've had one guy that acted interested and then suddenly he stopped talking to me and when I tried to text him back, he ignored me and left me on seeing.
oh wow, well
He
there
stopped
are
interested in me too.
wow, well there are stupid white men that don't see the beauty in you. So just take that with a grain of salt. I mean, um, that's not an exact science. If they're looking at you, they like you. Usually, if they spend a lot of time looking at you or making small talk and always got to go out of their way to say something to you, it's usually a sign he's interested. But I mean, there's always an exception. He might just do that with you because he loves just talking to you. It could be just a platonic thing he's into.
Yeah, maybe he
Oh,
maybe he feels comfortable talking to you on you. Maybe he has antisocial issue. Maybe he's a little
yeah.
bit antisocial. Sometimes antisocial people, if they talk to someone that has responded back to them, they tend to stick to that one person and talk to them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
or they call them introverts. So
yeah.
they tend to do
Hey,
that.
hey,
They
yeah. I'm
go ahead,
sorry.
go ahead, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. Yeah. Yeah. That could very well be it too. I mean, you don't know for sure. You looking for signs. I when I was dating, I remember this woman she looked at me, smiled, and we're talking, and everything was good, and I asked her for a number. She's like, "Yeah, as if." She just kicked me to the curb, like, "Oh, okay." I read her wrong. I thought I had a shot, but I didn't. And
Yeah, I don't like it when people act interested and then suddenly they act weird with you and ignore you or be mean to you. Like those people, I feel like they're very immature and um
mhm.
they don't know how to communicate.
Yeah,
I just feel like those are not good. Like
and, and,
so
and
yeah.
I would tell you this too. It could be he wants to be with you, but like you said, he's not mature or he's afraid. So he might reject you because he's afraid to, you know,
Yeah, because he's afraid to open up. Like
yeah,
there's people like that who are afraid to date out, and they'll sit there and they'll watch you, or they'll sit there and some just odd behavior that you would see a person that would do if they were trying to get to know you. Usually, those people are afraid, and I guess, or they don't have any. They don't have good social skills. Basically,
Yeah.
they just have poor social
Yeah,
skills.
and it's worse than ignored you because he could have just
Oh,
directly
you're
said,
breaking up. You're breaking up.
"Oh, my headphones came off."
Yeah, it's breaking up. It's getting some static.
Hold on.
Okay. We'll keep the conversation going till she.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's getting like echo back from her. But yeah, she.
Oh,
I
there's
think
no.
some. Huh? Oh,
No, I just
hey, it's
saw.
Alexander.
Yeah, I
Um.
just saw him down in the
Yeah.
backstage there. So
Yeah, I mean, it could be because that person has poor social skills. That's probably the reason why. And just sometimes people act weird too. You just gotta take it. You gotta find what really is the problem. I mean, you could say take a picture, it lasts longer, or something. I don't know. I mean, not have. I don't know if you should do
hey,
because it's he like, why you so angry? You know, it's just I
hey,
don't know. I
I,
don't
I'll
know.
tell, I'll tell you a funny story happened to me. Right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Let me. I didn't mean to do that. I'll tell you a funny story that happened to me, and I was in my 20s. I think I was 20. I was in a college class, right? And I was sitting there, and there was this black woman, and she looked beautiful, right? And I kept looking at her, and I was just, when you see someone that's just beautiful, you just can't help but look at them, And it wasn't that I had some fantasies going on. I just thought, man, she's beautiful. And I kept looking, and I would try to not make it obvious, but she caught me, and she walked up to me, and she said, "What is your problem?" And I'm like, "I don't have one." She says, I'm tired of you giving me dirty looks. And I mean, she started going off on me. And like, oh my God.
Wow.
And I had to sit there and I had to explain why I was staring at her. I had to explain to her that it's because I thought she was beautiful and she's attractive to me. And I just couldn't help, I said, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I think you're beautiful. And I'm looking at
Uh-oh.
you, and I'm sorry. I didn't want to make it obvious, but that's what happened. They
Yeah.
weren't dirty looks at all. Um,
Yeah.
and I apologize. Hey, I'm so sorry. And
Yeah.
and, and
Sometimes some women like they just don't like people staring at. I mean, I used to get stared at a lot. I got stared at by a lot of
yeah,
people, and I used to look back at them. But I used to have like this angry look on my face when I look back at them, and then they stop staring at me. I used to have like this angry, like really mean look, like mean mugging them. I used to
yeah.
mean my people
But
who stare.
hey,
But I never
but,
said, "What are you looking at?" I just give them mean mugs, and they would stop staring at me.
yeah, but the thing about that is she made me explain why, right? And the mean look she had when I told her I thought she's beautiful turned into a smile. And that night we went out together. So it actually worked
Oh
out.
wow.
Yeah, it was something that I was interested in her, she was interested in me, and it just happened. I was just like, wow.
Yeah, you'd
And
be
you know what?
surprised why white men or other race of men would stare at you. But me, I
Yeah,
just when I'm out, I get
yeah.
nervous. So I'm like when I see people staring at me and they just keep staring at me, I give them like this mean mug, mean mug them.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. We all
Yeah.
feel weird when people just look at us. Um,
Yes, I get
yeah,
weirded out when people just stare at me, and it might be because they find me beautiful. And that one time, I mean mugged a lady, and she looked at me. She said, "It's like, why you got that angry face on? You got pretty eyes. Your eyes are too pretty for that mean face." It was so funny. I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, thank you." And then I realized that's the reason why she was staring at me is because of my eyes.
I've had elder people look at me and my wife, and we're like, "Why are they looking at us?" Like we feel they have a problem. They say, "Oh, we could tell you guys love each other," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, thank you." Sometimes you can't read people's minds. You might be thinking
Yeah,
they're,
you'd be surprised. But I
yeah,
think
Hey, I'm back.
Ariana's back. Okay.
yeah. Hey,
Sounds
welcome back,
much better.
Yeah,
Aries.
I had on AirPods on and they kept like turning off,
Oh,
and it was just acting funny.
Oh, okay.
okay, that
So
makes
yeah, yeah, hopefully if I ask that guy for his number and social media, he won't act funny or weird because he has been showing signs of interest, and I also hope I don't come off too strong or anything like that.
well. That's your decision, but he should approach you. But that's up to you. Um, you know,
At different times, sometimes it depends, different
yeah.
times. But hopefully that
Yeah,
it's not he's not being he's just, I don't know, maybe hopefully he's not being weird and it's just something that's wrong with him. He keeps staring at people. I don't know.
Yeah, we might.
honestly, I think like online dating is not for, well, it may not be for me, but like personally, I feel like with me and online dating, like I would go on these websites and I would have a lot of men coming into my DMs. Some of them would be sweet at first, but then they become creepy and or obsessive,
Oh
and
Mm,
God.
others would just be coming off too strong in my DMs like at first. And I stopped having my DMs open and I stopped talking to men online because them are they turn out to be creeps.
Yeah, you got to be careful with them dudes online. I'm not
yeah.
trying to sound like a Debbie Downer and just ruin people's parade, but most of them white guys on like social media sites, like dating websites, they tend to be very fetishy. You
Mm.
know, I mean,
Yeah, for
I've been
sure.
on dating
Like
websites in my young days, but they're very fetishy. You got to be careful because a lot of them
yeah,
are
Yeah.
a lot
very
of them fetish
fetishy.
black women. Like like if I were to if white guy say he likes black women, I would just like try to get to know him more. But a
Yeah.
lot of these dudes like when a black woman online says she likes white men, these men come off too strong and they start sending her creepy texts and stuff. And
Yeah,
like
I noticed that because I've heard horror stories about like Instagram models, black Instagram models. They used to get like dirty messages and racist messages. Some guys being in the race play. I'm like, what the heck?
Wow. You
I'm
you
like,
know what?
Jesus
I I
Christ.
I bet they do. I mean, I just being a regular YouTuber out here, I get crazy messages and hate and all kinds of weird stuff. I've
Yeah,
I've got people that have told me you're destroying your race, you're a disgrace, you're committing genocide on your people and all this
yeah.
stuff. I'm like,
I
oh
just don't
my
understand
god.
how that's like that's committed genocide when it's just two humans having
Yeah.
falling in love and having a making
yeah, hold on,
building a
hold
family. That doesn't
on.
make it okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, hey
Someone in
Ellen.
a few people in the chat a few people in the chat
Uh,
said never approach a guy and all that other stuff, but sometimes women should approach men because like most of the time the guy that you want is not gonna approach you. Like what if the guys that you um like don't really want or don't really like back, they happen to approach you. Like most of the time the guys that approach you are not gonna be guys that you want. So sometimes it's better for women to approach men. Sometimes though, not all the time.
I don't.
Cause
I
like
mean,
men
yeah, you might be right. And some. I mean, that's y'all. I mean, you're the younger generation, so
yeah,
I'm a millennial, so I don't I don't know. I don't know too much about
yeah.
Gen Z.
And it was a different world back then. I know.
Well, the
Um,
'90s or I mean, women didn't really approach guys even in the '90s. They
yeah,
guys came up to girls because they always wanted that. It's because it was always in the movies and stuff, and the girls always wanted their crush to approach them. So
yeah,
it was like that in the '90s too. Only if you approach a guy, you most likely got rejected. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
but it's better to get like the worst thing they could say is no. Like, and also back to the online topic. Yeah, I don't know why men online are so desperate. Like, I don't understand it. Like, if a woman says she likes black women, you could just try to get to know her and be friends with her
mhm.
first. Like, you don't have to be all creepy and all that. like just because I like white guys doesn't mean you have to be creepy with me just because you're a white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you. And that's facts.
and guys, because she says she likes white guys, that don't mean she likes you. Okay,
Yeah.
she
She
wants
likes
the
a
right
certain
white guy.
kind.
Exactly.
She wants the right kind of white guys. She don't
Yeah,
want white guys that fetishize her. And
yeah,
y'all,
yeah.
some of y'all white boys need to understand. Don't be a pro. If they like a lot of a lot of black women and girls don't like to be fetishized. We get that enough in the black community. You know, black men fetishize our bodies. They
Right.
fetishize everything else, and we just don't need that you know, when we're dating out. We don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we got beautiful Mercy. Welcome to the panel. Let me let Alexander go real quick, and then I'll let you speak. Beautiful Mercy. Okay. Hey, Alexander, good to see you, brother. Welcome to
It's
the panel.
uh, it's good to see you too. Great to be here. And I just did a live like 14. I think it was a 40 something minutes ago.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh wow.
yeah, but it wasn't the one that me and you we were talking about the
Yeah.
other. Yeah. Um. Yeah, and I I go in on black men. Everybody knows I go in on black men, and sometimes, and and I go in on the black women who protect the black men also, because and and today I went in on this black dude, who try and paint white men in a bad light, and
Mhm.
they try.
My if I was implanted, which I do believe I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. And the black dude's channel's name is DOD, and I had to go in on him and the entire black manosphere, and I believe, and the live is up because I have to redo it. And the live is back up again. And now on there you may be offended at some of the stuff I said about black men, but those things are actually true. And if you're a black man and you're on your purpose, that video will not apply to you. I just want to say that. But you know, it's funny. It's funny to me because black men want to be want to be the prize for their egotistical purposes. But but and Brett, you know this. Last night, my mother told me there was another Black Wall Street that was in Florida, and
Oh yeah.
and
You said something
yeah,
about that. Yeah.
yeah. And once that was burned to the ground, you know, all of a sudden they didn't rebuild it. I mean, it was rebuilt, but you're seeing white men in those spaces, and and the fact that they're trying to stop black women from being with white men, that to me is like, what's the word? I'm trying to figure out the word. To me,
Hmm.
that is narcissistic to me. And
Yeah.
it yeah, and I think the white men need to watch out for black women who cape for black men too, because
Mhm.
it, I've seen stories, of and all I have to say is black w- m- you know black women should date out, and they should also vet the man also, because you never know who is a weirdo
Mhm.
and who is not. So
Yes, very much true. Yes. Yeah, you're on point with that. Yeah, you gotta know who you're with. And ladies, I would say the best thing to do is have them meet your family. Okay, because sometimes your mom or dad or brother, sister might
Yeah,
see
and make sure
something.
you have a solid
Hey,
family, solid
yeah,
family
yeah,
that
I
will
saw it.
support you and protect you. Because if the black men, of course, black men outside your family ain't gonna do it, but maybe the black men in your family will. I don't know, but make
Yeah,
sure, or at least have your mom or your aunties or something like that. Protect, have a solid family, because a lot of these men will go after women who don't have a solid foundation. They will
yes,
go after
yes,
desperate women. They will go after women who don't have a solid, who come from broken homes and everything like that. You got to be careful. And I know most of us come from broken homes, but we still have our mother by our side. Some of us still have our moms. Some of us still have our aunts, or a good or aunt we're very close to, that will still have our backs. So you have to have a solid person that'll have your back and help you in when if you get in a situation that might be, you need to get out. You
yeah,
need somebody there, and you need them to put the pressure on that guy when he comes around, so that guy don't try to take advantage of you or hurt you. Because if he is somebody that takes advantage of you and hurts you, at least they know they can't do that to you, because you have a solid foundation. You know, just
yes,
somebody who's there for you. You know.
yeah. And another thing, they might see something that you're not seeing. They might see those red flags that you don't, because you might
Exactly.
you might think this guy is everything, and you might be so attracted to the guy that you might not see those red flags, or you might not. You might try to ignore it. You can't, ladies. This is your life.
Yeah.
So um, somebody asked, okay, what's it matter? Can someone tell me, is Alexander a white man?
Why does that matter?
Really?
I mean, I I I don't I don't get it. It may be because the way I talk, uh, but I'm a black man who stands up for black women, and
Yeah.
and I call out the hypocrisy of black men.
And,
Exactly.
and
You've been doing that for a while now.
yeah, and that's character. He can call out another man in his group. That's called
That's called
character.
holding the men in your group accountable. That's called
Yes.
holding the men in your group accountable, and that's what Alexander's doing, holding the men in his group accountable for their actions towards women in the community.
And all men should hold men accountable. We should not give a man a free pass because they look like us. That's a problem.
That's that
Oh,
Um,
bro ship stuff, that bro
um,
brotherhood stuff, that bromance crap. That's what that
yeah.
is.
Hey, let
s-
me
I was gonna.
beautiful Mercy. Oh, let me let beautiful Mercy say
Okay, I
something.
will.
She's been waiting a bit.
Good evening, everyone. How is everyone?
We're
Good.
good.
How are you doing?
Can you hear me clearly, or is it too soft?
We can hear
No,
you.
we can hear you clearly.
We can
Oh,
hear
awesome.
you.
Oh, thank you. My little friend's name here is it Arleona?
My name is
Is it
Ariana.
Ariana.
Ariana? Okay, I'm sorry. I need glasses. I apologize. Um, I just wanted to say to Ariana and many young people and even older people who are still looking to date, um, because we're putting it out in the atmosphere that we are looking for a meaningful relationship, or maybe just a date, we have to be careful of Satan's devices. And regardless of what you believe in, you have to be careful of negative devices. And there is a spirit realm. And I wanted to say that just if you can learn from a mistake that I made, I liked a guy, I could tell he had vibes with me, and it was strong vibes. And I was like, wow. And it was like I knew he wanted to make a move, but he didn't. Had I followed something that night, had I let him be the man and not make the move, and I made the move first, and all we did was kiss, and it was fine. Had I not made the move first, it sets a precedent for the rest of the course of the relationship, whether they'll stay together or break up. Let him. I would suggest gonna do what you're gonna do. I was that young woman, intelligent young Black woman, cute like yourself. I'm like, well, I'm gonna make the first move, and we're so independent, ladies. Now it's the '90s. If everybody can remember that, we're independent now, and it really. I'm not gonna say it doesn't work and people don't end up happily ever after, but it really does set a precedent. Some men masculinity is so weak, they have to make the first move. Once you make the first move, their masculinity really can't handle that deep down on the inside. They're not going to tell you that. And then they start making assumptions. Oh, she want me more than you want him. Yes, you want him, but more than you want him.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Yeah. And on top of that, when we just, I'm not, everybody right now is talking about feminine energy and this, that, and the third. And that's because a lot of Black women are seeing white women take their men's and have beautiful lives. And we're like, well, are we too hard? Let's be feminine. The Bible says under the curse in Genesis, when Eve ate the apple, the curse that got put upon Adam and Eve was that your desire is going to be for the man and his desire is going to be for work and until the ground. And if you look at it today, you hardly hear any books. There are books out there, but it's not like propaganda on the same level towards women of, think like a man, act like a lady, how to get a man. And everybody's a YouTuber with no real experience. They just were bold enough to get a YouTube page and tell you this is why he left you, this is why he ghosted you, how to make more love. Even Cosmopolitan magazine for years before Steve Harvey was all about how to get you know what I'm talking about, ladies, and how to do this and how to do that. And at the end of the day, it doesn't get a man, it doesn't keep a man, and it doesn't put your relationship in a safe place, which is in the hands of God. And when you talk like this, when you get older, you get it because you've been through the burnt, the pain, the horror, and the hell. But when you hear this on the other side, before you go through that, you're like, everything's not so religious, or everything's not so this, everything's not so that. Like the young people are saying, match energy. Whether you believe in Jesus or not, match energy. If his energy is like, oh, okay, because men have so many options, even quiet men who you think, well, they're just a nerd, they got options. I'm not saying that you don't, but men just have more women in their life than women think they do. And they're trained from childhood to where even if they're in a good home, good family, good neighborhood, and have a pedigree, they're just trained to play games on women, and the stuff they hear in the locker room, even if they're not trained on that, they get trained. I don't want to be long-winded, but I just want to say something helped me recently. This man was a YouTuber and he said, you are not to hustle. Like you hustling for a second job. You have one job, it's not paying the bills, so you get a second job and you hustling to pay this bill, pay your car note. He said, you're not supposed to hustle for a man's love. You're not supposed to hustle for his affection. Like you hustling, and he give you a drop of affection and you got to do all this stuff and hustle. And that, for some reason, I don't know if all these, that opened my eyes. We're brilliant, we're young, we're educated, we speak well, and that works in certain sectors of life. But in the life of, I want male affection, I want male love, whether it's long-term or short-term, that does not work. I know there's some people, I gave her my number first and it worked. She may have looked up and she got a man who was solid in his manhood. You can't look in his heart and say, Ariana or whomever else, you can't look in his heart because the Bible says the heart of humans are desperately wicked. Who can know it? So you can't look into his heart and say, oh, his manhood can handle me or his manhood can't. You don't know. You could try to look for signs. We could analyze it. The best thing to do is, even if you're not religious, put it out into the universe is love, and just say, God, or universe, I don't know how people pray if they don't say Jesus, but Allah, whoever, and just say, send me true love. And a man that can, I don't like to say the word handle me, that's sexist, but a man that give me a word, you guys, instead of handle me.
A man that can provide and protect, a man that's responsible.
Well, yes, those things, but Ariana's personality, her personality, her good parts and her bad parts, he has to have the capacity to not just deal with it, but thrive her in it. Like if she's a friend of mine, perfect example, she was crying. And they're cute because they've been married 22 years, but I knew them back, in their freshman year of college. And she told me a story about her husband. She said, when I was, and this is my last story, and I'll let y'all talk. She was downstairs in his basement. That she had just came over to visit. The family loved her. They both came from 2-parent homes, but she just started crying for some reason. Sometimes you cry because you feel insecure. You don't feel safe. You're like, is this the one? But she couldn't at 16 years old understand her emotions. And he came downstairs, and when she was like, why are you crying? She was like, nothing, I'm not going to tell you. And he was like, yo, that's what I'm here for. And these are kids that was right outside of DC. So they weren't hardcore, but they wasn't soft either. And he was like, that's what I'm here for. And then she was like, that's when it was like, okay, when she went to college and unfortunately she cheated on him, they worked through it. So what I'm trying to say is you got to ask God to send you, or the universe, I don't want to step on anybody's toes, to send you a reciprocal love for the type of love that you give, and where he can help you thrive in your weaknesses. Because a man could thrive off of you, and once he get built up, he leaves you, and you be like, well, I didn't give him no money, but you gave him emotional security, you pumped up his ego, now he feel like a man, and he gonna get that trophy girl. You're not that one to put in that labor for him, and then he bounce. You the trophy. So you gotta say, God, one who thinks I'm the trophy, and send me somebody who will help me thrive through my weaknesses and my strength. He can't be like, oh, you talk too much, he got to go. He can't be like, oh, you're too smart, he got to go. You're too brown, he got to go. You change your hair too much. When your personality, he can't say anything about you too much this. Then you know what? You're not for me. You're not for me. And that's that. And then you gotta find something else in your life to fill those holes, like hanging out with friends or family or little kids, after school programs, whatever. So I just, as older women, and I'm sure the other young lady, we just want to fill you with so much strength that you don't go out here and be stressing these dudes, yo. Stop stressing. If he ain't give you his number, bounce. Like, how you doing? He give you a smile, I give you a smile. Nothing more. I match your energy. That's it.
Yeah.
And just take it as him smiling
Thank
at you. That's it.
Yeah. He's
Just
a
take
nice
it as
guy.
him smiling at, just
Hey,
being a
hello.
nice guy. But if he's not approaching you and being a gentleman, then it's like whatever.
Yeah, and hey, I want to make this point too. Men that are watching, you're hearing these black ladies talk, and this is knowledge what they're talking about. And you can, if you listen, you find out how black women feel when it comes to approaching, when it comes to dating. What they want, what they want in a man. This is knowledge. And if you're serious about dating a black woman, wouldn't you listen to black women? Listen to, things they want, their complaints, things they think are good or bad. And especially if you're a white guy, we're in two different cultures, right? And even a man in her own culture could learn something from her if he's interested. I'm just saying, it's all, it's about being strategic and learning. And you want to be that, you might be the right man for her, but she don't know that. And some things you got to learn to be that man. I'm just saying, it's a learning process. And we learned that, what, with black women, it's best to just approach them and be honest. And black women want you to be yourself. They don't want you to come over with your pants sagging, trying to fulfill a black man stereotype. That don't fly. I mean, maybe some black women like that. I'm sure they're out there, but most of the women I've talked to do not like that. They like you to be yourself. They want the real you. My wife's like that. She loved me because I was me. She didn't love me because I acted like something I'm not. So Keep that in mind. A lot of white men mess up their chances because they think that the black woman wants you to act like a black man, and she does. And if she does, you probably don't need to be with her anyway, because she's going to try to make you into something you're not. And that's not healthy either. And that goes both ways. You know, just be the real you, you know, when it comes to interracial relations. Because white men that love black women, they want a black woman. They don't want a black woman that looks like Becky. I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions, right? But for the most part, they love you because of you. So be you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I just got on a little rant. I felt I had to say that.
Yeah,
Hey
and
man, I mean you're good. You're good, man. You're good. I mean, it's nothing wrong in your love for black women on here, you know, and you know black, and you know you're always gonna have haters at everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that we ignore the haters, you know, eh, because at the end of the day, you know, they're just hating at the end of the day because you it's not. And you know when it comes to this race stuff, is not just, well, we all know is black men do it too, but what they do is try to scare black women from dating now. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I was realizing, and that's you know, and the life I was talking about earlier. That's what I talked about. Now I may have added a few more stuff in there. Um, yeah, but at this point, you know, I see black women don't want to be fetishized by black, and don't want to be fetishized, and I get it, you know, but and you know, when black men start saying that white men fetishize mm, black women, I have to say something because I know I know that yes, you're gonna have some of them that do it, but it's not all of them. Black men are the biggest fetishizers on the face of the earth. They're the biggest ones out there. The thing of it is, they want to take the attention away from them and their degenerate behavior. That, and then they want to, you know, take their failures and place it and blame everyone else and say that they that the main reason why they can't do any of this is because of this and that. And I feel like I have to respond to that sometimes.
Mm. Well, and you do because you want to put out the truth. I mean, fetishization is not, one man does not have a monopoly on it. Women do it too. Um, you know, but women don't want to be seen as an object or fantasized because of her body parts. I get that. I mean, naturally, men and women are attracted to each other and have desire for each other. They do. But there's a time and place for that. It's called a marriage. That's when that takes place, or should, biblically speaking. And, but, you know, women want to be loved because of who they are. They want the man not to just see how beautiful she is, but to see, you know, how much love she has in her heart. You know, they want to see her, she wants him to see her character, you know, and we need to uplift black women, you know, and I see so many times men out there saying that degrees don't matter. Okay, well, what kind of classes are black women taking? No, weirdo. She is improving herself. She's showing character. She's working hard for that degree, and she should be recognized for that. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That shows character. Now, do you have to have a degree to get with a good man? No, you don't. But what the degree shows is she's trying to improve herself. And she leads the way in the collective when it comes to education. Can we say that about Black women? Can we give them that? Because I see a lot of people not doing that. They're trying to debunk it some way. They're the biggest entrepreneurs right now. Can we give them that credit?
That's true. And also,
yeah, go ahead.
And also, like, yeah, we don't want to be fetishized. And also, like, with approaching guys, like some guys could just be nervous, and that's why they don't approach women, and they probably could have just been rejected before. But yeah, some guys could just be nervous, and that's why they don't approach women, or shy. And also, like, I've had guys approach me. Like, some guys do approach me, or they end up asking me out, but they often would seem to like me more than I like them. Like, a lot of them were not my type, so that's why I approach guys that I want, because I know that the guys that I want are not going to approach me, and that doesn't always mean that they're not interested. Some guys that I want may approach me, but it's highly unlikely that might happen. However, yeah, like, if you really want a guy, you should try to approach him. And yeah, once again, the worst thing he could say is no. And not all guys that don't approach women are not interested. They could just be nervous.
Yeah, and it could be. And maybe that man, he's shy. And sometimes men, they work that out, Later on, they get their courage up and they're able to approach. It usually happens because when you are really attracted to a woman and you're not going after a while, it's like do or die. It's sink or swim. You got to go for it. Because if you don't, you're going to miss out. You're going to lose. It's like a prize fighter jumps into the ring and throws in the towel right away. Well, I might have lost, so why am I going to fight? Well, how can you be the champion if you don't go for it? How can you go if you're on a football team? You say, "Wow, the other team's pretty good. They might beat us, so let's just forfeit, so we don't have to experience the loss." That's the same thing as not approaching. You're accepting defeat without even trying. That's really, yeah. Go ahead.
I just want to add to that, like, I see now why some women like they're mean to men, and then men respond, because I had a soft nature, just like Ariana, very soft, very sweet, very kind, very giving, but not dumb, very intelligent. But men, I'm not going to say all men, after I've gotten hurt really, really bad, that's the only way I learned this. And then you end up losing a part of your innocence. You lose a part of yourself that was so tender and pure. And then you look at older women and go, "Oh, why they bitter?" You don't necessarily become bitter, but you're like, wow, that's the game. Like, the best thing to do is get hip to the game. Men, like the way you're talking, I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong. I'm just going to say that it's very compassionate to other men. And men don't need that kind of compassion. They're a lot more hard than you think. So if you're like, "Oh, he could just be shy, or he could just be this," Brent just told you, he's gonna eventually get up that courage. He's gonna be like, "Yo, it's do or die," and that's what he needs as a man. It's kind of like a caterpillar coming out of a cocoon. So if you cut open the cocoon, you just ruin his wings of having the strength to come to you. I'm not gonna make anything an absolute, like, "Oh, you can't ever talk to a guy," but just add that to your repertoire, that, "Yo, I'm going to ease up on it." Give him hints, give him smiles, give him a wink, maybe a little 1-2 minute conversation. But all women need to do this, even me, because when you really like somebody and you think something's there and you're not dating like at least 3 different guys, or you don't have other stuff filling up your time to help you with that amount of loneliness, you get anxious. And that's when we get into pitfalls. And I just want you to know that, you sound young, So I'm gonna just assume that you're at least 35 and under. And even if you were 55 and under, we all have a star, a destiny, and a man could take you out. Like you be like, that last relationship, yo, that just took me out. He could derail you, or he can waste your time. And when you have to, for young people now, they gotta look at the world and see like the world is perilous. Like there's always problems, always an illness, always a pandemic, always a war. If it ain't a war, then people outside in the street acting crazy. You really got to take your wanting a mate to a spiritual level, because sometimes God may be like, yo, I want you, you have friends and all of that, but I
Yeah.
want you to be alone for right now because I'm preparing you for this crazy world. Like, what if somebody was like so pressed, I gotta get married, I gotta get married. But the Lord was like, I'm gonna send you to nursing school through the pandemic. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because he was getting her ready for what's going on in the world. And I would just say for everybody, especially for young women, where is God taking you? And it's so hard because when I was in my 20s and 30s, I heard the same thing in church. You don't want to keep hearing that. You like, I want a little boyfriend. I want somebody to chill with, whether we doing sex or not doing sex. But the reality of it is that once you get past that, I want a boyfriend, or I just want somebody to chill with, or if you just want to, as kids would say, hit skins, or if you just want to not hit skins, but just have somebody to hang out with, the next part of that, as soon as you join with somebody, whatever demons they got, that has now entered into your life. People don't go to people and think like that anymore. Whatever anointing, which is the power of God, is in their life, is now in your life. Like a person can look like a bad boy tatted up, but he'll be at church every Sunday with grandma. You feel what I'm saying? Or a guy can look like a nerd,
Yes.
and he has the most devious heart. You feel what I mean? You be like, yo, those quiet people are sneaky. So I just, I don't want to give her my pain. I just, for anybody that's listening,
Yeah,
even me.
I'd like to say something to Ariana. Ariana, men shouldn't approach you, and looking at your picture, you're an attractive young lady. Many men would love to date you, and you got your whole life ahead of you. I think you're pretty young. You look really young. You look like a teenager. Serious. I don't know how old you are, but you got your life ahead, young
I'm
lady.
18.
18. Yeah, you. Yeah.
You better pump them brakes. I love you, but you better pump them brakes, girl. You want
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
right one, the
Don't rush
18,
into
the
anything.
right one.
Hey, you got your life ahead of you. There are going to be many men that are going to want to be with you, that are going to approach you. I would just say, learn how to vet. If you have a boyfriend, he needs to meet your parents. You need to meet his parents. And the reason is because when we're young, we don't think straight. And that's all of us. When I was young, I was so stupid. I did the dumbest things. And that's because I was young, no experience. And just try to learn the best you can, and involve your parents, because they can see through a lot of stuff you don't see. And I always wondered why a lot of girlfriends I had, my dad couldn't stand. And I was like, why? Well, looking back, I understand why, because a number of them weren't really good young ladies. They weren't meant, for me, and they weren't meant for a good relationship. Now, there were many good young ladies that were good women. That would have been a great wife. It just wasn't meant for me. And you're going to date men that are great men that will be great husbands, and you'll be a great wife, but you're just not meant for each other. It's just not meant to be, and that's okay. But you got your whole life ahead of you. So just be strategic, and remember, it's your life. It's about you. You are the prize. It's not the man that's the prize. Okay, it's you. The Bible even says that. How many times the Bible say how precious women are? The virtuous woman, how she's worth more than precious rubies and precious stones, and a good woman's worth her weight in gold. The Bible speaks about how valuable women are, and we as men in the world today have forgotten that. And some men want to be that treasure, but they're not the treasure. they're the rough, they're the rough, tough one. They're the rugged one that's meant to work to provide and protect. That's a man's job. It's a woman's job to be beautiful, to be the prize. So never forget, you are the prize, and don't settle for less. I mean, just hearing you talk at your age, you seem like you got it together. You're mature, and you're thinking about this stuff. You're asking questions, and that's the right way to be, because that's going, be valuable in your life as you go on. Um, but just remember, there's weirdos in every race. Uh, so you got to know who this man is, and ladies, make him take you to meet his family. Take him to meet your family. If he doesn't want to do that, he don't deserve you. I would say men do the same thing. That was always my thing, my way of vetting. If she wouldn't bring me home to her parents, well, I'm not good enough to be with her. So what are we doing? And look, and that's true, because if it goes further to marriage, they got to be confident with you. They got to be so in love with you that you're everything to them. A husband and wife should be everything to each other, because you're becoming one. Okay. So just think about that. You got your whole life ahead of you. And a lot of ladies look at you and say, dang, I wish I was young and pretty like that again. Okay. And you got it all ahead of you. Don't rush into anything. Plan it out. Have your family members involved, ones that care about you, that are, because that'll help you out. They'll see, a lot of times parents will see things that you don't see, because they're experienced. They've been around. They know more than you because they're older than you. But from hearing you talk, you seem like you got it together, young lady, and you're beautiful. You sound intelligent, mature. Embrace that, and vet, and make it about you. You're the prize. You're the treasure. Okay, don't give the wrong man
Thank you.
that treasure. Okay, sorry, but anyway. Okay, but I just wanted to say that to you, young lady, because it's about you. You know, and let you need to get the right man so you live, a good, healthy life. Now, is it going to be perfect? No, no one's perfect, but you want the best option.
Yeah.
But
and attraction is important to me, so yeah. Sometimes I
yeah,
just
it
switch
is.
on to guys, and
Yeah, I mean, traction's part of it. Yeah, you want somebody attractive.
I
Nothing
I
wrong
tend
with
to
that.
attract guys that aren't really my type, or I'm not attracted to. So yeah.
And that's going to happen. But there's going to be those men you're attracted to. They're coming, and you know what? But just make sure they might fulfill the attractive part, but make sure they got the character to go with the attraction. Okay, make
What's your
sure.
type, sweetheart? I'm sorry,
That's true.
Brent. I apologize.
Go
I'm so
ahead.
sorry. No, Brent, you're so patient with us. Thank you. I apologize for cutting you off. That was rude. I wanted
Oh,
to
no.
know. I wanted to know what was her type. Like when I was younger too. I mean, I'm not that old, but when I was young, I'm not 18. But when I was younger too, can I say this on a Sunday? I used to, when guys would like me, I would be like, if I can't see myself having sex with them, and I was a virgin, okay? But
Mhm.
if I couldn't see myself having sex with them, then I was like, God, I don't like them. But the original first guys that I started that I was getting were the ones now I wish I would have married. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because
Mhm.
some guys they're not gonna have that pizzazz. They're not gonna have that pop. They're not gonna have that swag. I don't know what you like. You may like nerds. You may like goth. You may like video head game. Sneakerheads. I don't know what your type
Yeah,
is.
I like athletic guys, and like guys who are tall, and Yeah, I like mainly athletic guys for the most part
Mhm.
and preppy.
Guys.
And
Oh yeah, you did
uh,
tell us that before. I remember that. Yeah. Athletic and preppy guys.
yes.
If Brent would
Or a mix of both. Both athletic and preppy. I think some
you
of
could
those
get that.
exist.
You could get the athletic scholar. You could get the athletic scholar, but like Brent said, he gotta have that character. But you
Yeah.
know, you can have what's so great about being 18, you know what's so great about it? You're either in high school, if you're not in high school, you're at work, and your age group 18 to about 26, because around 27, 28 people start getting married. You guys are social naturally. So wherever you go, you know what I'm trying to say? They gravitate to each other, whether they like each other or not, they'll figure that out. But they gravitate to each other. When you get older, it's kind of like, who's this person? You know what I mean? So you're in a blessed position. But the other thing is that, find out from God, higher power, your source, what is the type that you need? You feel what I mean? Because I got the type that I liked, and he was shown up a nightmare. I mean, he was great in the beginning, and the beginning is always great. The last couple of months, but little red flags. Then it was towards the end, it was a nightmare. Then the aftermath was even worse than the nightmare. But he was my type, so now I'm just like, okay, God, should I ask you for someone that was like him? You know what I mean? And then you have to sometimes deal with yourself. See, because like, I don't know, Brent can see if this is true or not. God will give you someone that is going to bring you to a space of healing and your ultimate potential of who you're supposed to be. You know what I mean? To bring you into your destiny. That may not be the athletic preppy, or it may be the athletic preppy. You know what I mean? Or maybe more prep, like Russell Wilson. He seems more preppy than he would be athletic. You know what I mean? Like he's more the nice guy type. But
Yeah.
then he might not
He
say he's
was.
Dennis Rodman. You know what I mean? Dennis
Yeah.
Rodman
Yeah.
would be
Also,
like,
I mainly attract nerdy guys, and that's not what I'm into. So yeah, I just
Yeah.
find like
mm.
majority of nerdy men are not attractive to me, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're not, but maybe that's what you need. And I'm not pushing you that way because when you're unattracted, especially at 18, when you're not attracted to somebody, you're just not. All I'm asking is that
Yeah.
God would enlighten your eyes of understanding so that you could say, Lord, if these nerdy guys are like me, what is it about them? Maybe he can send you an attractive nerdy guy because maybe God is saying, Ariana, your destiny is tied up in high intelligence, or your destiny is tied up in this or that. Because I'm telling you, there's men, like one of my friends told me, he said his wife like athletic men, and they're getting a divorce now, but he was more so of like an educated, kind of like thuggy kind of guy, whatever, and then gave his life to Christ. But he said that his wife would probably be taken advantage of by all the athletic men because number one, athletic men are highly catered to. If they play a school sport, you're only 18 now, but if they play a school sport and a college sport, they're groomed, and Brent can testify yes or no, and anybody else who's listening, they're groomed in being catered to. That may not
Mhm.
be a type of personality that you want because they get a little heady, high-minded. They get full of themselves, or
Yeah.
they're very groomed to be competitive all the time, even in relationships. They'll even tell you that. So I'm not saying that God can't give you what you want. I know you're strong-willed and you're smart. You sound like a younger version of me, strong-willed and smart. But you got to be like, Lord, I know I'm strong-willed and I'm smart, but give me what I need so I don't get my feelings hurt. Like, you got to be like that.
Yeah. Well put.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
But
personally, like someone just in the comments, sorry,
go ahead.
someone in the
No.
comments just said maybe try to date someone who isn't usually your type. But I need like attraction is once again attraction is very important to me. Like if I can't be attracted to a guy, I'm not gonna want to be more affectionate. Well, this may sound messed up, but I'm not like I have to be all upon a guy in order for me to like him.
Well,
Like
yeah. No, that's not messed up. That's natural. Of course, you can.
like
People usually.
personality. Like sorry.
Yeah. No, that's a natural thing. I mean, attraction. Um, and I think what she was saying was like, pray about it because the man you marry might not be the one you're looking at 18 or 19. If I wasn't married, and I was looking for a woman, it wouldn't be the woman with the banging body and super. It would be somebody that that was attractive, but somebody that I have a connection with. My standards will be different at my age than it was back at 19. you know, in that time, it was all about attraction. And, but as we get older, we see things a bit different. And I'm not saying get with an unattractive man because, you got to be attracted to the one you're married to because that ain't going to work either. You got to have that attraction. You got to have love for that person in all areas. You know, not just the emotional, spiritual, but the physical too. Okay. That person has to be everything to you. Does that mean he's a super world class athlete? You might not get a super world class athlete. And guys, you're attracted to beautiful women. That don't mean you're going to get a supermodel. You know what I'm saying? You just got to look at life realistically. And but you can find someone attractive that's a good man. You can. I think what everybody's just saying is just look at the whole person, okay? And
Yeah.
don't just get caught up in the physical because you'll get some athletical guy that does it for you physically but can't provide for you. And then what good is that? Then you might have kids and be a single mom.
Yeah,
I'm
that
just
isn't
saying.
good. I know physical attraction grows over time, but I would just rather be with a guy that I'm already attracted to,
Well,
because then
yeah,
it'll be easier for me.
yeah, and I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying make sure he's got character too. You know,
Yeah.
but love yourself first. Yes, that's a good. That's a good one. Go ahead.
The character is a very important thing because I think nowadays, character is put by the waist side, and it's all about race and stuff like that. I mean, it's like the character. It's like you can't even comment about the character of the person. I'm like, okay, but uh, but when are we going to get into the character of the person though? When are we going to get into that? And it's like, and for me, it's like, if we can get back to judging people by the content of their character instead of the race, then maybe we can actually, actually, you know, actually, judge people uh, by their character, because this whole race thing is not working out for anyone. It's not working out for anyone, and I just want to say that and Brent, I'm a hop down and give someone else a chance to be on here. I'll see you
Okay.
at 8:00.
Yeah, it's almost that
Yeah,
time, so I'm gonna hop down
yeah,
too.
yeah. I'm on close out. It's getting close to that time, Alexander.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to
I'll see
close it
you on
down.
Alexander's channel. I'm gonna hop down now.
Okay,
Take
yeah,
care,
I'll be
everybody.
there. And
All right.
hey, Alexander, thank you, brother, for coming on.
Yeah.
Ladies, thank you so
Alex.
much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome to
Yeah, thank you for coming on. And this was a good discussion tonight.
Definitely.
Yeah, but and it goes together with interracial dating and same race dating too. You got to vet Go for the best option. Ladies, you are the prize. If the man can't make you the prize, he's not the man for you. Okay?
Right.
Yeah. And that's it in a nutshell. But let me go ahead and close this out, and I'll see you guys over on Alexander's channel. If you want to tune in, I'll be over there, Alexander, and we'll have a discussion, a good discussion as always. We always do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I whipped cream code. He said it's over. I missed it. You can catch the replay. I got to close it down because I got to go to Alexander's channel here in less than an hour, or almost about an hour. So I got to get ready for that. Alexander's got to get ready. So we're going to close out right now. And I want to thank everybody on the panel. Great discussion, guys. I love your input. I love your perspective. A lot of good stuff was passed forward. A lot of good knowledge. A lot of a lot of good points, and that's what it's all about. That's how we learn, right? That we talk and we share our experiences. Those of us that are older with younger people. Okay, I'm in my mid 50s. So what Ariana's going through, that was years ago when I was going through being young. And, she seems like she's got her head together more so than I did back in the day. I was just a weirdo. I was just an idiot. But
Man, yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to say I was an idiot. I was just young and dumb.
Yeah, I'm like 20. I'm 26 now, so.
Oh, okay. You're young too. You got your life ahead of you. Yeah. And you seem like you got it together, Alexander. So you got a head start on most men out there. So,
Yep. And Brent, Angela De Leon is saying who is Alexander? I think is
who is Alexander? Check out his channel, Alexander Brandon. Okay, he's got a good channel. That's Alexander. Alexander's the man. That's what you need to know. No, Alexander's a good man. Check out his channel. He hits good points, and he's a man of character. So that's who Alexander Brandon is. He's a man of character. Okay, let me go ahead and close this. Alexander, I'll see you on your channel here in a little bit. So I'll be there, brother, and we'll have a good show. I know we always have a good one over there. So I'll see you then, okay? And all right, you take care, brother. See you soon. Everybody tonight, hey guys, thanks for coming on. My prayer meeting, I'm going to probably do it tomorrow. I'm just not prepared for it today. I didn't have a message, and I've been running around all over. So it's going to be delayed a day. Okay, I'll do it tomorrow. It might be a late night one. It might even be Tuesday. I'm sorry. I just want it to be good, and I don't want to be at a late hour because most people don't go to the prayer meeting. So the ones that really want it, I want to have it at a good time. So it just put on hold for a little bit. I just had a rough day today, been running around and just haven't got a good message. And to have a prayer meeting without a message, I don't want to do that. That would be wasting your time and mine. And, I want to make sure I have some message there and some scripture. So, but anyway, we'll get that going in a day or two. But I'm going to be over on Alexander Brandon's show tonight. Is there a prayer meeting tonight? Yeah, probably not tonight. We'll see. We'll see. Probably tomorrow night. I think that'd probably be most likely. If somehow his show is not that long and I can throw one in there, but it most likely tomorrow. Okay. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. God bless you and your families. And I hope you have a nice Sunday. And though we're not having a prayer meeting today, break open that Bible and read it. Read some scripture. I'm going to do that still. And we'll have it sometime this week. I just got to push it back. But I'll see you guys tonight. Have a good day. God bless.